Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paul. Today, we're taking a look back at another one of my homemade cassette albums that I made when I was a teenager. I'm celebrating the 30th anniversary of Seeking the Death Penalty, which I completed in October of 1986. Seeking the Death Penalty was my fourth full-length cassette, coming after the original version of In Case of Fire, Throw This In, which I'd recorded 4.5 months earlier in May of 1986. I had heard someone on the TV news saying that a prosecutor was seeking the death penalty. I guess I must have thought that it was a good name for an album. One interesting thing about the tape is that it was the first time that I referred to myself as Off the Wall Paul instead of Weird Paul. I started recording the album on August 20th, and I finished all 19 songs in just 16 days. I had decided to make a new album around August 8th, when I wrote a parody of the John Cougar Mellencamp song Rumble Seat, called Toilet Seat, about a guy with chronic diarrhea.
I know just what it's like to be a sitting waiting on the toilet seat.
Up to that time, this was probably the best parody that I'd written, and it ends with a toilet flushing. I'm pretty sure that my mom yelled at me when I flushed it for wasting water. During the summer of 1986, I'd gotten an acoustic guitar, so I started using it on songs like Running Wild, which was partly inspired by the Three Dog Night song Joy to the World.
Who's this bull from person anyway?
The third song, One Day Democracy, was a prophecy that later came true about the Soviet Union changing to a democratic state.
US of A, just for one day.
There's a whole extra verse here where I quote the Beatles. I never recorded that. I later included the song on my first released album, In Case of Fire, Throw This In. Up next we have another parody. I turned Van Halen's Why Can't This Be Love into Why Can't This Be a Glove? Here's the original script for the music video I made for the song, including this attempt at stop-motion animation. While I was recording the song, the tape player malfunctioned and sped up my voice so it sounded like a chipmunk. I left it in, and I even made the video speed up too. Another thing that happened during the summer of 1986 was that I learned what chords were. I visited my cousin Wayne in Connecticut, and he showed me some basics on playing the guitar. Wayne later played in heavy metal bands, and was known as Insane Wayne. I used my new knowledge to compose what is now a classic Weird Paul song, Simulated Wood, which was inspired by a sticker that I'd seen on my mom's clock radio.
Couldn't tell if you could. You couldn't tell that it's simulated wood.
I re-recorded the song twice, once on 1987's In Case of Fire, Throw This In, and then again on 1991's Low Fidelity, High Anxiety. Then I wrote another parody. I turned Creedence Clearwater Revival's Up Around the Bend into Up Around a Dead End, about a joyride that runs out of road. The next 5 songs on the tape are all really short, and I made music videos for most of them. Punkin' on Wheels lasts 22 seconds, and it's a very repetitive 22 seconds. Don't Go to Bed with That Face is just a blues riff that I'd learned. And then we have Blackout, a song that was inspired by Lynyrd Skynyrd's I Know a Little. It's only 8 seconds long. Let's just watch the whole video. I continued to record many new versions of Blackout over the years, all slightly longer than 8 seconds. During the recording of this album, a major event happened. My dad bought me a distortion pedal.
Because I got this last night from my dad. It's a distortion overdrive preamp.
Now, I could have the guitar sound that I wanted. I showed off my tapping skills in a song called What Did You Break? The title was something that my mom had said one day when one of us had knocked something over in the house. Then we have I Am James Brown, a very misguided 57 seconds.
I've got a brand new band.
I seemed to think that it was somehow funky to bounce the strings and then let them go. The 12th song on the album is a parody of the Ozzy Osbourne song Mr. Crowley called Mr. Furley. Of course, it's about the Don Knotts character on the TV show Three's Company. I still think that it was one of my best parody ideas, and at that point I could even play the song that I was changing the words to.
Mr. Furley, did you get the rent?
My band even played it live in 2013, over 25 years after I wrote it.
Mr. Furley, did you get the rent?
The next song is a parody too, but it's terrible. I changed Billy Squire's Everybody Wants You into Nobody Wants You.
It looks like an A, nobody wants you.
Then I did a medley of kids' songs parodies. In Old MacDonald Had a Funny Farm, there's paranoiacs, kleptomaniacs, hypochondriacs, and pyromaniacs.
With a burn, burn here, a burn, burn there.
Then, to the tune of Bingo, I sang Drano, a lovely song about poisoning your father.
We put some in my father's drink and Drano was its name. Oh.
This song was quite a fail, because there is no I in the word Drano.
D-R-A-I-N-O.
The 15th song on the album is called Flag Day, and it was inspired by a couple of events that involved my sister. One day, my sister and her friend had rolled my mother's hula hoop down the street. My sister started crying, but I found it. It was in someone's backyard. Around that same time, my sister's friend had brought a green marble over to our house. They used it to play a game of Princess and the Pea while lying on top of my dad's station wagon. Of course, the marble ended up getting lost, and the other girl told my sister that she'd have to pay for it because it was a glass marble. Luckily, my dad lifted up the hood of the car, and the marble was retrieved.
Looking for a marble and we're trying real hard. Playing Princess and the Bee on the car.
This song also ended up on In Case of Fire Throw This In the following year. The hit from this album at the time, though, was a song called Budget Cuts Suck. Budget Cuts Suck was the first of a few collaborations between my father and I. He wrote the words, and I wrote the music. It's about how school budget cuts had made for smaller lunches.
Budget cuts suck 'cause hot dogs aren't free. And now he only gets one instead of getting three.
Yes, budget cuts suck 'cause hot dogs aren't free, and now he only gets one instead of getting three. I remember playing this song in our 11th grade English class during a persuasive speech assignment. The whole class was laughing, even the teacher. Just a few songs left. I also made a music video for the song Feather and Meat, a mostly instrumental consisting of a number of riffs that I'd written around that time. I recently found the script for the video, and although it's a little wrinkled, I can see that it didn't come out quite the way I wanted. I guess that's why I got so angry.
Shut up, you jerk! What the hell did you say something for? I hate everybody. Everybody screws everything up.
On my previous tape, I did a cover of Led Zeppelin's Dazed and Confused. Now I decided to tackle their much harder to play Over the Hills and Far Away, which I retitled Over the Hills But Not So Far Away. Playing that whole song on acoustic guitar was a real accomplishment for me. The 19th and last song on the album is a parody of Ronnie James Dio's Rainbow in the Dark called Rainbow in All His Songs. I joke about his overuse of the word rainbow in his lyrics, and I made a music video for the song, using imagery from his Last in Line video. The tape ends with a loop of my 3-year-old brother saying Off the Wall Paul. I finished the album on September 5th, 1986, and it was all recorded using a normal tape deck, sometimes utilizing the 2-track recording trick that I showed you earlier this year. I had taken this out-of-focus picture of a playing card with my mom's camera. I guess I must have felt guilty that I'd wasted her film, so I decided to use it as my album cover.
It's the new album, Seeking the Death Penalty.
As I was finishing this album, a teacher's strike started in our school district. I had planned to have my tape available for my classmates to listen to. I waited a whole month for school to resume. But school didn't resume. So on October 6th, I just had a little press party in our living room to celebrate the album's release.
My new tape, Seeking the Death Penalty. I think you'll like it. Corporate concert, present off-the-wall Paul's Budget Cut Suck Tour. The concert length is 45 minutes. Don't miss these exclusive engagements. 2 dates only. The Den on October 11th, Living Room October 12th.
And I still have the poster that I made for my tour from 30 years ago. After 2 months of waiting, we finally went back to school. And then I was able to let the other kids hear what I'd been up to. I hope that you enjoyed the look back at my 1986 homemade album, Seeking the Death Penalty. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button down below. I'll see you soon with more memories. Thanks, YouTube.